What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You read the title, so you know what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to go ahead and give out there, or put out there actually, my thought on when it comes to rehydration classes or weigh-ins of anything. Let's get to it. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of rehydration classes. I believe that if you make the weight on the scale, whatever you weigh in the next day or whatever your weight is the next day, the day of the fight, I think that shouldn't matter. If the weight limit is 140, 147, or 154, or whatever the weight class may be where the fighter is competing on. I'm not a big fan of rehydration classes. Once you make the weight, you make the weight. So you were disciplined enough to make the weight, and you were a professional, made the weight. So now you shouldn't have an issue on fight day. Obviously, rehydration classes have become something big in the boxing industry, which I think is hurting the sport. One of the things that's hurting the sport, actually, it's the rehydration clause. I think the best way to avoid that would be if we bring back the same day weigh-in. Back in the day, if we're talking about, I'm gonna go ahead and say from the mid '90s and back all the way to the beginning of the boxing's history. The weigh-ins were the day of the fight, so fighters would weigh in and fought at their natural weight. They didn't have to cut so much weight, and then the next day in the morning they would take an IV shot where the day of the weigh-in they look like a raisin, and then the day of the fight they look like a grapefruit. It's not healthy to begin with. It's not healthy, and it's hurting the sport because I think if you're a great fighter, let's take example Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran started at lightweight. His first title was at lightweight. Moved up 2 weight classes at welterweight to beat Sugar Ray Leonard for the title. Moved up to 154 to beat Davey Moore, and then moved up to 160, and he beat Iran Barkley for the title at 37 years old. So he was a natural lightweight, and when he fought at 160 for the middleweight title twice against Marvin Hagler and against Iran Barkley, there was never no rehydration clause, or there was no catch weights. Whereas, okay, we're gonna fight at 157 or we're gonna fight at 155. He challenged the champions at those respective weight classes, and whether he was at the limit of 160 or the limit of 150 or of 154. He did not expect the champion or the opponent to have a rehydration class because he was a bigger fighter. He challenged himself to be great, and that's what made him a great fighter, because he took that risk, and he did what great fighters do, which is challenge themselves without looking to have an advantage over the fighter, or without looking to drain the opponent because the fighter may be a bigger fighter, etc. Yes, there's weight classes for a reason, but if you're looking to move up in weight, if you're looking to challenge yourself, a rehydration clause is not gonna give you any credit. It's only gonna make a fighter look bad, because the fans and the reporters are gonna say, okay, yes, you beat him, but you put a rehydration clause, so you didn't beat him you didn't beat your opponent at his best. You had him cut weight, you had him you didn't allow him to rehydrate properly. So it doesn't really benefit the fighter or the A side in most cases to add a rehydration clause. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't support them. If you're looking to fight a bigger opponent, make the weight, and you guys rehydrate on your own. If you're not too willing to fight a bigger opponent, then don't move up. Don't take the fun out of the sport by adding the rehydration class. Great fighters didn't do that. Roberto Duran, like I said, one of the examples. I can go on and on. Even Alexis Arguello, when he moved up to 140 to challenge Aaron Pryor, he did not add a rehydration clause. He knew Pryor was a physically bigger guy, taller. No, Alexis was pretty tall, but physically Pryor was a bigger guy, and Alexis did not expect any rehydration clauses. We can go on and on. Sugar Ray Leonard ended up fighting a light heavyweight against Donnie Lalonde for the light heavyweight title. No rehydration clause again. So that's what made these fighters great. Nowadays we don't have that anymore. There's rehydration clauses. And I think the best way to avoid that would be bringing back same day weigh-ins. Fighters are gonna fight their more natural weight, and it's gonna be a lot healthier for them. They're not gonna have to cut down so much weight where they're gonna be so dry and so dehydrated, and then they have about 36 hours to recover, 24 hours to recover. They gotta take IV shots. They gotta do all this technical work to rehydrate. It's not healthy, you know. That's my take on rehydration classes, or when it comes to rehydration classes. I don't support them. I'm not a fan of them, and I think they need to come to an end. You know, as soon as possible. It's only gonna bring the sport back to its glory days. You know, where fighters challenge themselves to be great without needing rehydration classes. You know, there's been a lot in the recent years. Canelo being one of the famous names that uses them. He used it on Daniel Jacobs and a lot of other opponents. Tank is now using them, and there's a lot more that I can go on and on that I can name. You know, as far as you can rehydrate so much amount of, you can only gain so many pounds the day of the fight or not, or if you exceed the amount of weight that you could gain, you're gonna get charged a fine. That's nonsense. It's a slap in the face to any fighter that's put in that position by the A side. You know, but then again, the opponent shouldn't sign up for that. You know, obviously, the paydays nowadays are great. You know, so I can understand why fighters agree to rehydration classes. Agree to, if you gain more than 10 pounds the day of the fight, you're gonna get fined 50% of your purse, whatever. So I can see why fighters agree to that. But like I said, the best way to avoid it is to bring back same day weigh-ins. Fighters are gonna fight at their more natural way, and we're gonna bring the sport back to its glory days. That's it for this video. I wanted to leave that out there. I think the more people put this out there, the more and not just fans, trainers, managers, promoters, the more people that are involved within the sport put that out there. I think we're gonna march to we're gonna march closer and faster to put an end to the rehydration classes. You know, so any trainer out there, any manager out there, any promoter, put that out there, please. That you don't support rehydration classes, and I can guarantee that we're gonna bring the sport back to its glory days. That's it for this video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay tuned, because I do have a lot more content that I'm bringing your way. I'm actually gonna be, if not today, tomorrow for sure, I'm gonna be posting 2 more videos. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's it for this video. And stay tuned, because there's a lot more that's yet to come. All right, peace out.